Yeah, I saw the FNAF movie. It was bad. Can you really blame these numbers? Yeah, I'm sure you can't. All right, if you've been living under a rock recently, you probably know that the Five Nights at Freddy's, or I'm gonna call it FNAF, because I feel like it, just recently got a movie. And keep in mind, this movie came out after the box office slayer slash golden child movie known as the Mario movie. And especially, you see, the modern day has been doing well with video game movies. Especially like with the Sonic and Mario movie practically being the lead contenders. So they're like, why don't we do it after a fan base that is full of a bunch of 4-year-olds? By the way, I did a count when I was in the theater with my friend. I saw like 20 little kids. I'm sure they didn't sleep good that night. So I'm going to talk with the pros. But that's going to end really quickly because there's nothing really that positive to say. Well, maybe a side. And then the cons. The pros are very simple. It looks nice. That's it. So, now, keep in mind, this movie has been in development for a whopping since 2015. That is just insane. Which I believe was like around the time where the series was like booming in popularity. And guess what year is it? 2023. And yes, the series is still popular. It's just not as popular as it is in its heyday. Anyways, it's just not as popular as it is in its heyday. But anyway, so this movie had a $20 to $25 million budget. And they spent it good on, of course, the main set, which is Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. I think the animatronics look really good in their adaptations. So yeah. I mean, obviously you can tell I think they spend most of the budget, because another thing I noticed, they barely marketed this movie. Like, I'm talking like, I knew it was coming out, even I forgot about it. Probably because like they only released like 2 or so trailers, and it almost never came on TV, which is fair. Nobody watches TV. But besides like little publicity stunts, pretty much the only people that knew were coming out was everybody, because this movie made like 10 million in a day. So yeah, this movie literally can't even film in box office because its budget is so small and the series is so popular. So yeah, I thought they did good with it, especially since like that's where most of the budget went. Because another thing is like they didn't really get a lot of like noteworthy actors. You see, if it's like a franchise that is like new, like a new comedy, usually you want to get like a main actor for that movie. This one doesn't really. All of them have acted, but just not like, like other actors have. Yeah. Like all the other. Like looking at the cast list, looking at their movies, yeah. But anyways, now time for the bad part. First things first, the major complaint. For me and everybody else, it's boring. It's just boring. Now keep in mind, I am a baby wimp with scary movies. I can't handle them. I've not watched a single one. The only ones I can handle is like Goosebumps and frankly, this movie was probably the scariest one I've watched so far, and it wasn't even that scary. I mean, yes, you have your typical. Yes, you have like your typical jump scares, but yeah. Hold on. But it's just boring. It's not like. Sorry. I'm choking off my roast. Especially since, like. I mean, what? I mean, they couldn't really do much because it's a PG-13 movie. Which, this is where I'm going to say it should have been rated R. It should have just been rated R. Now, if it was rated R, I would have not watched it. I would have just flipped in let one of my friends go watch it, and they tell me their opinion, and I would have spilled it here. Because I am a baby whip. It's like they can't really show you, like, it's like showing the bare minimum blood, like in a superhero movie. It's just showing, like, scratches and cuts. And honestly, that's probably its main flaw. Its age rating is just too low for a horror series. That's why, like, usually a lot of horror series are rated R, because they don't have to worry about the restrictions of gore and blood. Heck, technically, the only goriest scene is literally just the scene, like, is literally a very unimportant scene other than just them showing them getting killed. Which, by the way, that scene would be, which, now keep in mind, I don't have any footage for this because I thought this movie also would make a lot of money because it's streaming on Peacock. But then I learned the budget, and then I learned how much they're charging. Guess how much they're charging? I don't even have a Peacock subscription, but they're charging $50. Yep, $50. You know how much I spent on mine? I spent $24 for popcorn, Sour Patch Kids, a Coke, and the tickets, and whatever my friend got, who got one of everything in a pop machine and popcorn. Yeah, rip off. So, yeah, that was just. And even then, people weren't even scared of those. Like, we were all laughing, so we must have all been psychopaths. And that's what, honestly, if it was rated R, I bet they could have just shown those. Heck, literally, like, they do, like, the murder childs in, like, a flipping, like, reel, which is fine. Like, a pixel version of it, which is fine. But I think it would be cool if we found out. Another thing is also, the movie maybe around 2 hours. Well, technically not including credits. It's like a length of the Mario movie, pretty much, just, including credits. A lot of it feels like filler, especially the day scenes. If you cut all those day scenes out, they wouldn't matter. The only day scene you need is the ending, is the day scenes, like, around the end, and the flipping robbery that literally got the most kills. So essentially, it's like some of the stuff all repeated. Like, the most normal thing is, like, so our boy, insert generic name here. Our boy, insert generic name here, has the same dream about how his brother got flipping kidnapped and then apparently killed. And they play at the same time. The only difference is that they would have, like ghost kids, which, now keep in mind, I know nothing about FNAF. I don't play the game. I hate the games, and I'm also a baby whip. So that should tell you my exposure with the series. Okay? So apparently these kids are the animatronics. So yeah. But literally, and that's where and another thing is, like, the police officer lady, Vanessa, she was literally just the narrator. That's another thing, the problem with it. They just tell you everything. Like, for example, one thing I'm going to say, like, for example, she tells you that the kids are in the animatronics. I think it would be cool if we just found that out eventually. Or just think about it, and basically it's like the contrast of show and tell. Show us like during like the scene where they're all having like fun. Why don't you just like, I don't know, make like some reference about stuff smelling bad? Pretty much, it feels like they're just trying to tell me the thing. So yeah, basically they're like trying to tell. Or basically they're like trying to tell me the thing. Like they're saying, this is what's going on. This is what you get. Nerd. Enjoy. And yeah. And keep in mind, both of them are having dreams, because the reason why he's doing this is because he got fired from his job from beating up a guy that apparently that he thought got kidnapped when it was his dad. Just basically looked like he like grabbed him. So yeah. And also another thing is, he's also fighting for social care, because apparently, Abby is not a social child. Matter of fact, spending more time drawing. So yeah. And even then, the plot with that just goes nowhere, because at the end of the day, the aunt gets killed by Golden Freddy. Yes, I know that's Golden Freddy. So yeah, yeah. Alright. So yeah, that's another thing. I feel like I get the story's simple, but they didn't really do much with it. Heck, it literally just felt like the same thing, just, like there was no real threat building up. Because, like, it just felt like, heck, at the last 30 minutes, that's when things are intense, when flipping Springtrap or I think it's William Afton. I don't know. I'm not a FNAF fan. Finally shows up, and even then, it just felt like he shows up just to show up. And just gets killed. By the way, I'm going to do one of those things where I point out the obvious. But I will. Why the heck do you think it's a smart idea to use the exact same material you used to trap the kids' bodies in the animatronics as your costume? It's like me, because like literally if like one wrong thing happens, you will literally be trapped like those kids. It's like me recording this video it's like me trying to record this video, but every time I say a word, I have to punch myself in the face. It's stupid. Why? Yeah, it feels there. I mean, honestly, I think what made this better is, again, it was just rated R. And I'm going to similar to the Mario movie, I feel like if it was a bit longer, we could have like gotten maybe flashback scenes from like his dreams. So therefore it didn't feel like repeated. Like what if each kid like just came up to him that night and just tapped him, and it shows like how they died and how they became it. And another thing is also the resolution's kind of stupid. So apparently the reason why the ghost children think that Springtrap, I call it Springtrap because I'm not saying William Shakespeare or whatever his flipping name is. Apparently he uses the pictures to tell them what they're doing. So basically, like, for example, one of the pictures is basically them it's basically how he's like a friendly guy. Until eventually the girl just draws a random picture and hangs it up. Yeah. And honestly, I feel like it's just not worth the watching. It's only worth for curiosity, but not for you to pop in every Halloween when there's like, if you don't want like horror Halloween films, there's like better ones like like especially like Hocus Pocus, Goosebumps. Um, we can make a debate about Jack Skellington. I mean, about The Night Before Christmas, because like that's the problem. It's just you don't. It's not really fun to rewatch. It's just gonna. It's one of those movies you see once and never again. I mean, it had like. I mean, it was being made by Universal, and especially, and also the person that was directing it was the person that directed Megan, which got a 93 in Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, and essentially like the original creator Scott Cawthon also directing it. But besides that, it's just, and that's my opinion. It's just, and yeah. The only thing else saw cool is the only other thing I thought that was cool was that at the end they played, funny enough, a Living Tombstone song, which if you don't know what the band is, it's like a YouTuber band, I believe, at the credits, which I thought was actually kind of cool. But yeah. I mean, but yeah, it's just, but yeah. I don't want the trailer. Sorry, I'm on. Sorry, I accidentally clicked on something. And honestly, frankly, it's boring. So I'd say just watch it, and that's it. It's not that worth it. Because like again, it has way too much negatives than it does positives. Which again, the only positive is it just looks nice, but looks can be deceiving. And even then, the only thing I liked was how, and honestly, frankly, the best part of the movie was just when when Freddy and the gang were just like buddies, just hanging out. I mean, to be fair, I grew up with Chuck E. Cheese, so yeah. Still, it's not really a good horror movie. It's not, honestly, frankly, it's not worth it. It's not good. Yeah. It just got like it has like a 98 on audience score, but still, it's, that's my opinion. What is your opinion? Tell me in the comments. Anyways, that's my opinion on the movie. Point is, the reason why, honestly, I think how they can make it better is just make it rated R. Just make it rated R and make us see those gory scenes. Just give them in all force. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. Later.